Kings Island, located in Mason, Ohio, is one of the most popular amusement parks in the United States, attracting over 3 million visitors annually. Opened in 1972, it was originally developed by the Taft Broadcasting Company as a replacement for Cincinnati's Coney Island, which had suffered from frequent flooding. The park spans over 364 acres and is known for its world-class roller coasters, including the iconic Beast, which has held the record for the longest wooden roller coaster in the world. Kings Island is also home to the Banshee, the world's longest inverted roller coaster, which opened in 2014. At 4,124 feet long and reaching speeds of up to 70 miles per hour, the Banshee has solidified itself as a fan favourite at the park. However, this year it was the centre of attention for all the wrong reasons. On the 19th of June 2024, 38-year-old Antonaro Nelson from Wilmington, Ohio, was visiting the park for the first time and decided to ride the Banshee. He boarded the ride and it set off. A few minutes later, it returned to the station, but Nelson realised that somewhere along the ride, his keys had fallen out of his pockets. According to the reports, Nelson reported to the ride operator that he had lost his keys, but he was told that there was nothing that they could do until the end of the day when the ride is no longer in operation. However, instead of listening to the operator and accepting this, he made the foolish decision of retrieving the keys himself. He proceeded to climb over 2 fences and entered a restricted section of the park. Here, whilst he was looking for his keys, he was struck by the Banshee roller coaster. According to park staff, the Banshee would have been travelling at around 70 miles per hour when it struck the man. When the train returned to the station, horrified passengers said to the ride operator that they had hit something. An employee said there were 4 people on the front row, and 2 of them had a bunch of cuts and scrapes on their legs, and 1 had blood on his face. They said, "We hit something, we hit something." Emergency services were rang, and when paramedics got to the scene he was still alive. He was then transported to the Westchester Hospital and then to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center in a medical helicopter. The Banshee was then closed down for further investigation. Sadly, 2 days later, Nelson was pronounced dead. He had died from blunt force trauma. Investigators would find nothing wrong with the ride itself, and it was reopened 3 days later, and the park was not blamed. One employee said, "I don't think you can necessarily fault the park. There's only so much you can do. If someone really wants to do something like that, they're going to do it. You can put as tall as a fence as you want, but if someone wants something bad enough, they're going to do it." Jillian's Wonderland Pier, located on the boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey, is an amusement park that has been a staple attraction since 1929. Known for its classic rides, the pier has long been a summer destination for locals and tourists alike. In 1999, Jillian's Wonderland Pier purchased the Wild Wonder, a wild mouse-type roller coaster from Zamperla, which began the season without incident. On August the 17th, issues arose which prompted the maintenance staff to change the chain and safety dogs. Chain dogs and safety dogs on a roller coaster are mechanical devices used to engage with the lift chain and rachet system, ensuring that the train is securely pulled up the lift hill and preventing it from rolling backwards in case of chain failure. However, the replacements they used were cheap, low-quality ones, which weren't up to manufacturer's standards. The park got away with this for a few days until August 28, 1999, when the decision of cheaply replacing the chains resulted in horrific disaster. That day, 39-year-old Kimberly Bailey and her 8-year-old daughter Jessica were visiting the park for a family day out. They boarded the 4-passenger train on the Wild Wonder and sat on the front row. Their safety restraints were put on, and they set off. The car turned the corner and began making its way up the first hill. However, at around 35 metres up the hill, the car seemed to lose any form of traction, causing it to plunge backwards. As the car flew towards the bottom of the hill, it went round a sharp curve way too quickly, causing Kimberly and her daughter to go flying out of the car. Witness Tammy Matsak, who was in the line, said, "I saw the car going up. Then something let loose, and the car came slamming back downwards, slamming down. I saw 2 bodies fly, incredibly. It was a woman and a child. The woman slammed into a beam. The child just flew. I knew right away they had to be dead." Tragically, both the mother and daughter lost their lives instantly. Investigations into the incident found that the subpar chain and safety dogs that they used were not good enough for the task, and they were also installed very poorly. The chain dog was misaligned wrong, so it didn't engage with the lift hill, causing it to roll backwards. The emergency brake that should have stopped this also failed. The force caused the two to fly from the car, the lap bar failing as it was designed to prevent forward, not backwards motion. No details of the trial were released, but we do know that the park was ultimately blamed, leading to the ride being shut down. Gray's Amusement Park was a small amusement park located in Inglemells, Lincolnshire, in the United Kingdom. It was a popular local attraction that featured traditional fairground rides and amusements, catering to families and holidaymakers visiting the nearby Butlins Skegness resort. Although smaller than most parks, it had a nostalgic charm and provided entertainment such as classic carousels, dodgems, and small roller coasters. In Gray's Amusement Park was an old ride known as the Swinging Gym. The Swinging Gym, also known as the Flying Cages, was a popular but dangerous carnival ride where riders used their strength to swing a weighted cage back and forth. Done correctly, you could flip the cage over the top. Despite its simple design, the ride caused numerous injuries due to its uncontrolled momentum, leading to accidents like broken bones and head injuries. 12-year-old David Oakley and his family would visit Gray's Amusement Park often. On the 1st of June 2000, whilst at the park, David and his 15-year-old brother decided to go on the Swinging Gym. Sometime during the ride, David had managed to slip through a small gap between the metal cage and the rail. As this all happened so quickly, David had no time to react, and before he knew it, the cage carrying his older brother swung back and hit him in the chest, crushing David. David was swiftly transported to the Pilgrim Hospital in the town of Boston, but 2 hours after the incident occurred, David died from his injuries. An investigation was launched which would soon bring to light the awful truth. The investigation of the ride found that owner Robert Blake, for reasons unknown, had removed floor plates from the ride. Due to moving these plates, David was able to fall through a small gap. After removing these plates, Robert failed to apply a new safety certificate for the ride, meaning it wasn't even legal to operate. Robert had known the family, so he let the boys go on unsupervised. Ultimately, the result of the verdict was unlawful killing. Ride operator Elliot Gray was fined £7,000 for failing to supervise the ride, and Robert Blake was fined £10,600 for allowing the ride to operate in an unfit condition. Mr. Justice Goldring said, "Financial penalties could never reflect the tragedy." In a statement to the media, David's mother said, "It has been a living nightmare for us. Things have been so hard, and our life hasn't been able to move until now. It has been very difficult." As always, this is not an AI channel, I do everything myself, and if you appreciate my work, subscribe, and if you want to go the extra step to support the channel, maybe consider becoming a member. Let me know what you think about these cases in the comments below. These were all individual cases where there wasn't enough information for a full video, but I still believe needed telling anyway. As always, thank you for watching.